Today in our groups of old stamps, we're bringing you Japan stamps. Alright, so this is our first group. First we have the 5. The beautiful birds, the ducks right in the water. And that one has a little good value to it. And then the next one is an 8. Now the next one after that in brown and white is your 10. And that one has brought some good value to it. And then that last one on the top row, just a creamy kind of brown, is a 35. Then when we get into the second row, first we have the deep brown and white, which is 50. That has some good value. And then the bird, which is $5 in the green and white. I've seen that one bring some good value. Now the next one's really, you're getting some extra good value in the $8 one and the $30 one. The $8 being the brown and white, or different shades of brown, and then the $50 being the blue and white. Those last two are some really good ones. Big, more value than the rest in this group. Now let's go down to our next group. Here we are with our next group. First you have the mountain, which is a 1. That only shows us that that one is one of the older stamps. Because that one, at the beginning, you used to get a sheet and the post office would cut it out for you, and here's yours. So that one takes you back to the days of cutting it out. Okay, so then you have the 1/2 X and 1/2. Not quite sure. This purple and white one with the boat. That one I'm not familiar with, so I can't tell you too much about that one. Then after that you have in the kind of like a burgundy and cream color, 1.5. That one has brought some nice value to it. And then the next one in green. Then we go down to the second row. First we start with the green and white, which is a 3. Just a nice mountain view. Gives you an idea of the way of the land, you know. And then your second one in the, what looks to be like a gray and white. And that's a 5. That one was still part of the cutout. You cut them out of the sheet. So that one has older age and a little bit of value to it. Then the next one, another green and white, which is very different and odd looking, is a 7. Then we have our burgundy, which is a 10. Then we have our blue and white, which is a 20. Okay, so those that had to be cut out, there's like 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 are some that bring some value. I don't know about that purple one, that second one on the top row. That one I have not seen. Cannot get nothing on that one. Not yet, anyhow. It probably will be. If you know, by all means, leave it in a comment. I'd appreciate that. Okay, now this is our third group. First we have a 2. Just simply orange and white. And they kind of stayed with the orange, and there's another 2. Now when you get on the second row, this blue and white, it's $4, and that one brings a little value. Then we have our 40 in the brown and white, and then a different shade of brown. For a 50. Now that one's really kind of different. That one they ended up using later on, but in this one here was the days of the cutouts. So it didn't really print that good, because it's the beginning, and it was cut it out of a sheet. Okay, now our last group I find interesting, only because you really don't see that very often. Look at that. We have a meter stamp. And the meter stamp is 1961. Now, I don't think meter stamps were that popular back in Japan. But there we have one. So that's a meter stamp to hold on to. And then underneath you have all three portraits. So I'm pairing these up into groups to resell. So this be a good start for someone who is starting that collection. First you have the 25 in green, 30 in brown, and 40 in the gray and white. All the same picture, just different values. So that meter stamp for me is the interesting one out of this group. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing them to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and by all means share the video with other stamp collectors. They might find this meter stamp to be just as interesting as I do. Yeah, kind of nice, ain't they? I just happened to find a whole bag of meter stamps, and it's like, really? And I really didn't believe that there was value in meter stamps, but I've come to learn that there is. So here we have one from Japan, which makes it very interesting. Alright, stay tuned for more. I have plenty to show you. Alrighty, bye-bye now.